Good morning and welcome to Daily Disciplines. I say welcome to you. I say welcome to me. I don't know for sure about you whether you actually got involved in what we talked about yesterday, but if you did, it could have been a challenging time. I mean, some moments that were difficult or maybe hours. Maybe you've really struggled with it ever since we talked about it. And I hope that's not true. But on the other hand, daily discipline says that's a question we got to face all the time. And there's another one that I've been thinking about a lot lately for me personally. And so I share it with you by way of, I guess I would say by way of challenge, by way of encouragement, by way of lots of years of experience that have taught me the better ways to go. And I'm always looking for ways to help other people not have to go through a lot of the hard experiences that I went through to learn what I know at this point. I do not know it all, but there are some things that I know well. And one of the things that I know well is at the center of our discussion today in this podcast. And that's all about, is it worth it? We've just invested several of our podcasts talking about preparation for the new year. And I want you to know that I know that there is a cost involved in having your best year yet. There is a cost involved in having a great year anytime. And so that's an issue that we need to face. I think we suggested that in one of the podcasts, that if you aren't willing to pay the price, don't set the goal. And yet there's probably a little bit more that we can and should say about that. And so today, I'm going to look at four things with you. First of all, a part of the cost is to realign our time allotments. You know, if we're going to be more effective and more productive and do more of what we are capable of doing, it means that we're going to have to make better use of the time that's available, because the reality of it is there's only 24 hours in the day. At least that's the way it is here in my home in Sarasota, Florida. I assume that it's the same way where you are. There's 24 hours in one day. And if we're going to get more from that day, we've got to realign our time allotments, because there are things that are not contributing to a great year. And so that's number one. Number two is to risk relationship testing. Well, this is not an easy one. It, in fact, from my way of thinking, may be one of the more difficult ones for many of us. One of the desires of the human being is to be loved. That's all a part of being accepted by those around you. Having them like you, having them approve of you, having them include you in their lives. And I just know that when we begin to count the cost, one of the costs is that when we begin to realign time, sometimes those relationships that had a lot of time invested in them are not going to have as much time when we make an adjustment. And whenever there is less time invested in a relationship, there is a testing that goes on. Now, a true relationship and a true friendship will not only survive that, but a true friendship will thrive on that kind of a thing, because what a true friend really wants is what's best for you or best for me. And when they perceive that we are realigning our time so that we can be more of what we were created to be, and we can affect the lives of more, and we will be a better human being as a result of it, there's a lot of excitement in a true friend when they discover what we're doing. But not always is that the case in relationships that we're looking for in our lives. And so there is some testing of relationships that will have to take place, and you and I have to make those tough choices. There are people that we invest time with that we should not be investing time with because they don't have our best interests at heart. They are there only when they choose to be there, and they are there only for their purpose. And though it's a difficult thing to do, sometimes we have to say goodbye. Well, that time has come in this podcast. You say, wait, Skip, we only got 2. That's why there is tomorrow. And we'll talk again real soon.